Hello, so today I want to look at Ethereum. I'm looking at the monthly time frame, and I would like us to look and try to see how Ethereum moves so that we can try to get a slight idea of what we could be expecting with the current price action. Okay, so Ethereum, the charts we have right now, they start from as early as 2015, but the most clear charts are from 2017. So to Ethereum is one of the cryptocurrencies that try to kind of somehow move similarly to Bitcoin. At least when you compare it with others, you can see that it has a bit cleaner moves than XRP, which you are looking at yesterday. We'll also be looking at Solana and the others. So you can see at least it has some cleaner moves. In fact, it's better than forex pairs or other tradable assets. Okay, so on this one, to try to predict the next bottom that is incoming for this cycle, I would like us to use the fib tool so that we can measure the retracements, and we're gonna start as early as the first high that was made in around January, that is January of 2018. So we are going to lay out the fib tool from the bottom of that move during those days to the high, and focusing on it here, we can see that price broke below the 78.6, that was around $250. It came as low as $100. This probably like 90%, almost like 90% of the move. Price retraced like 90% of the move during this bear cycle that was from January 2018 to around March of 2020, before taking off again and making very great highs of around $5,000. So we are going to again to measure the retracement of the new move from 2020 all the way to the high that was made in December of 2021. And this time, what I want us to observe here is that this time the retracement was a bit shallow. We did not, I don't know why this arrow is not, I think my trading view is lagging. I don't know my network. Okay, we have it. I want you to observe that this time price just hit the 78.6 level at 1125 and did not go much further. You see, it just dropped a little bit, so the retracement this time was like 80%. Yeah, when we compare it to the retracement the year before, you can see for this year, let me try to show this here. You see, from at this time we went as low as even close to where the price the zero level again. So we made a low that was around $100. That was like 90%, moving all the way from 1150 to 100. That is even less than 1%. But now this time round, let me delete this. This time round, we came to 78.6, around 80% there, and price retraced. But surprisingly, the top we made was very small. There was not much difference between the 2021 high and the 2025 high. It was just the same amount, just around slightly hitting 5,000. We almost hit 5,000, but we did not. Also, we can see that we had struggled to make new highs earlier in 2024. Twice in 2024, but we failed, then crashed down again, almost to where we had started. Then we rose sharply. I believe there might have been some issues with the Ethereum system that were making price react this way. So now, since we are in the bear cycle, I would like us to try to think or try to look and see where the bottom for this cycle could be. And we are going to use the flip tool from the lowest. The lowest was this time at 870, and the high was this point near $5,000. We can't use this as a low. This is not the low. This April of 2025 is not the low. The genuine low is here. The genuine low is around here. Yeah, June 2022. So again, this time we have already hit the 78.5 level, 78.6 that is, and we are already trading below it. The 78.6 was at 1750. We touched it earlier last year in April of 2025, and we came as low as $1,400. And now it seems like we are headed there, since we already hit 1500, 1520, 1500, and it seems like we are headed there. So where could the bottom be for this cycle? And to know that, you can't know the real bottom, the exact price. What you have is to like estimate. You can't know the last point, the last price that will be hit. So with this, I expect, for me, my expectation is that the bottom for this cycle in Ethereum, I would really expect it to be around 1500. Actually, my lowest price for this cycle, I was expecting 1500. That does not mean we might not see as low as 1300 or 1400, but any price from this moment, any price from 1500, you are buying at a very good discount. It's one of the lowest points. Maybe price might come as low as 1200. Maybe, I'm not sure. The lowest I'm expecting is 1500. So whether it comes as low as 13, 14, that's okay. You just need to be prepared in your mind that anything can happen. It can keep dropping slightly further to maybe 13, 12, but coming back to 1000 might be a bit hard, since we can see, just as we saw with Ethereum, with the XRP, you can see that it also has a tendency to consolidate a lot around the bottom. You see, there's a lot of consolidation here, a consolidation that might last as long as a year around the bottom, and we can see the same again in last time's bottom cycle. You can see this was a lot of consolidation. Price just coming, repeating to hit the same bottom again, then trying to take off, coming back down. We are not moving quite in a wide range. It's just a tight range. But so since we have not had such a consolidation again this year, that is in this cycle, I would expect that anytime from now, from this month, we could be seeing some consolidations around this price, around the 1500, maybe 14. It goes as high as maybe 1800 or maybe 2000, comes back down before it shoots up again. when it comes to shooting up again, I really don't have a great idea of what the top could be, but my prediction for the top of the next cycle that could be ending around 2029, I would only expect 5,000. That does not mean we might not go to 7,000 or 6,000, but depending on the past behavior, how you can see price behaving in the past year, it has been very tough for Ethereum to hit new highs. As you can see, it made 3 trials. This is 1, 2, and trial number 3. We still didn't make it any further. So maybe even in this cycle, we might have this kind of things, this kind of price trying to come up. It fails, again it fails, then maybe eventually it hits the 1500, slightly goes above, maybe goes to 6,000, but once price hits the 5,000 mark, I would sell much of my positions in this coin, because there's nothing that motivates you to hold for quite longer, depending to how it has been. Though some things might happen, some policies might be formed, some government laws and regulations, there might be some favorable conditions that might make it spike up very high. But at 5,000, if you buy at 1,500 and selling at 5,000, you already have a good profit. That's a good margin you have there, around 4x of your investment, and you'll be good. If you want to buy, like to trade a position, then you need to ensure that your stop loss is quite low, around the 1,000 mark, if you're buying at this point, because price might come as low as 12 or 1,300, and you don't want to get stopped out only to see price taking off again. So if you want to buy in a position right now, try to be having a stop loss below the 100 level. Your TP, wherever you want to set it, but 5,000 is a good number to target. Yeah, that's my view on Ethereum. That's what I'll be doing. I really don't trade this pair as well on a daily basis, but I do observe it. I just do observe the coin. I observe how it's moving, so that I can have an idea of when to buy and when the time comes to be buying. So that's it. I don't know what your view or your opinion might be about this coin. I would love to hear them. Yeah, because nobody knows everything. We are just trying to analyze and predict. It's not that we know the future. We just try to predict depending on how price has done in the past, because that's the only way we trade. The only only reason we trade today, it's because price did something yesterday, and it's bound to repeat again and again and again. If you are not using history while trading, then you can't trade, because how will you be certain that price is gonna break out of a consolidation, price is gonna reverse? It's only because you saw that thing happen in the past, so you believe and you are convinced that also in the future it will behave in the same way. So thank you for your attention. I would request you